Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Trail Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Brandon.
No more special guest. He's just a guest.
Yep. He's just a regular sit-in.
Well, you can see what we got. This is definitely one of my favorite pours. I believe it's also one of Justin's favorite pours. Yep. We got the famous E.H. Taylor small batch. We already know this stuff's amazing. I don't know if, Brandon, you ever had this one? Oh, you're in for a great treat. Before we get started, I guess I'll do this the honors.
Knock your Blantons off the shelf. This will.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
No comparison.
He's still quite new to the bourbon world.
All right, we got Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to keep still. That is definitely true.
Oh, yeah. I like that one a lot.
Yep, I like that a lot.
Well, since this is yours, Josh, you crack it.
Our cracker.
You done took the cellophane off, but
Can't do it. I'm just kidding.
nice.
Yeah.
Wasn't his best cork pop I've heard, but it was alright. He's decent.
So decent pour on this one.
Rinse it.
Yeah, just rinse it. Just for
It's funny because this is like an extra filming because we've done filmed our normal set and it's like, let's do one more. I had an after set pour, so I'm
Pour us a little.
Anyway.
Well, make sure we get some good pour on this one, because this is some good stuff.
dude, every time we go up here,
He's so
every time we go up there to the restaurant, you know,
That's what we always
up there in where we live,
yeah.
I just try not to say where we live because, you know, YouTube is global.
Yeah.
But me and Josh always get either an E.H. Taylor or if they have like Weller 12, we'll get it. But yeah.
What's the price point up there?
Ain't it $15 an ounce for E.H. Taylor?
No, it's only
Seven?
it's 8 something.
Or
an
seven
ounce.
and a half.
That
Seven
ain't
and a half.
Ain't bad.
I'm gonna step off set just for a second. I'm gonna cut that fan off. Y'all keep talking.
All right. Well, you just want to wait for him to take a. I'll just read the back of the bottle while Josh is away. It's a long one, but well, here we go. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch, first and only. As founding father of the modern bourbon industry, Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr., that's a mouthful, left an indelible legacy. His dedication to distilling began at the close of the Civil War when he purchased OFC Distillery. There, he developed innovative techniques that are still in use today. Made by hand and using some of Taylor's original methods, this small batch bourbon whiskey has been aged inside warehouses constructed by him over a century ago. Barrels were routinely elevated to identify those with the richest and most complex flavors. A small batch of these select barrels were then blended together to deliver a distinctive character that is like no other. It is a true sipping bourbon that honors the uncompromising Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr. Distilled and aged old-fashioned copper distillery. Owned by Buffalo Trace.
Yeah,
That's a mouthful, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
that's a lot.
100 proof,
Yeah,
obviously.
I knew it was 100 proof.
Bottled and
It's
bond.
bottled and bond.
Yeah. I figured since I read the whole back, I'd just read the front too.
Right. Might as well.
Old-fashioned copper distillery. This yellow label is in exclusive and conclusive use. I guess nobody else can use a label that's that color yellow.
I've always loved that freaking label.
Yeah.
It's just like awesome.
What's cool is the paper tube it comes in.
Yeah,
More so.
yeah, the
Yeah.
tube is
All right. I feel like it feels like deja vu because I've had it so much, but here we go.
Yeah, I've had this one quite a few times.
I'm gonna clear my
I
palate.
didn't try it though.
I'm interested to hear what you think about it.
Me too.
What are you looking at me and laughing for? I know what this tastes like, smells like, feels
I know,
like.
your face is funny. You just laughing. So I don't know. Just kidding.
Caramel.
Oh yes, definitely caramel.
I think I said one time when we was at the house and we just opened mine and we wasn't filming, we was just sitting there. Like warm caramel sugar.
Yeah.
I was getting,
Yeah. kind of vanilla, maybe a little
It's like
orange
almost like
zest.
a sugar cane.
Yeah,
Like
I never thought about it that way, but
Yeah.
caramelized
I
sugar.
can get that.
Heaven in a bottle.
That's it.
Some people hate it. I want to try the E.H. Taylor single barrel. They say that's good.
There's quite a few of those I would love to try, but
I'd like to have the whole set,
they
but
never
you know.
be. Yeah, wouldn't we all?
There's more bottles of E.H. Taylor in the whole set than they are the GTS.
Oh yeah, there's
Not
there's a
GTS.
bunch.
God. That's one of the B-Tacs. B-Tac is what I meant to say. The Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace Antique
I
Collection.
knew what you meant.
Yeah, but they didn't. They was probably like that. Look at that dummy.
What is that?
What's the GTS series? Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay.
You, this is the last video of the filming, but you can tell that we went way up in the proof scale, and this is 100, and it tastes like water. But I've had it so many times that I know what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess I'll just give
really
you
good.
half taste and half memory notes. So like warm caramel sugar on the palate, and a little tingly, but it's not tingly after that Stellum,
Yeah.
like water. But anyway, that's besides the point. What are you getting, Brandon? Ben, you've never had it, so you didn't know what to expect.
It's sweet, a lot sweeter than I thought it'd be. Like I said, I get like a caramel, but it's like it's not like a regular sweet. It's like a sugar cane sweet.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of like a syrup, but very faint, like kind of light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a maple syrup, but you know,
Yeah.
like a
There's still
just the sweetness.
and I don't know if this is like a thing for like all Buffalo Trace products, but seems like with Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, Blanton's, I get an orange citrus zest over all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because the expressions are so close, because the mash bills.
Yeah. It could be.
Because there's only like, what, 3 or 4 mash bills they use. Mash bill 1, 2, 3, and 4, I
There's
believe.
not many.
And, you know,
And I don't think they actually even tell you.
They
what
don't tell you what mash bill it is?
They don't tell you what they are.
kind of a guessing game.
Yeah.
That sip, it kind of warmed up a little bit. I guess I didn't clear my palate good enough between that higher proof stuff we had earlier. It's hard to give a review on it when you've had it so many times. Like a current review, like
Right.
It's got
what I'm tasting now versus what I know it tastes like or smells
Right.
like. It's crazy. What was you gonna say?
I feel like I do get a little bit of a citrusy.
Like you
nose.
took like a old
It's
not an old fashioned,
very
but
slight.
you took an orange peel and zested it and it fell
Yeah.
in the glass.
Right.
The orange zest spritz or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's not super citrusy or nothing, but I feel like I get slight.
Blanton's has a slight citrus zest like that. So does Eagle Rare.
I know I know what it, normally what it tastes like since we've done so many reviews this evening. We've done like we've had it so many times. I know what it tastes like, and I've always one of the reasons it's always been one of my favorites because it's always been just so smooth as far as from the time it hits your tongue to the time you swallow and everything. And the notes that you get off of it, it's all being very minor too.
And,
Are they very? How do you want them? Trying to think of the best way to word it, but like every bottle is almost the same.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Every bottle is consistent.
Consistent. There you
Like
go.
when I taste
The
this,
notes to the
it
nose.
don't differentiate between bottles. My bottle tastes like this bottle. Like if you blinded me, I could almost
would
tell
know.
you that it was an E.H.
I
Taylor.
would know what it is.
Even the nose.
Yeah.
By nose.
Yeah.
They're even
By
more
nose, yeah.
consistent.
And it's crazy that distilleries have that so down pat like that. That this is an E.H. Taylor, and every bottle smells, tastes, and finishes like an E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
Like that to me is just insane how you do that.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's some like to name one, Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
That's one to me
That's
not
consistent.
consistent.
Oh, it's not consistent.
Yeah, like I've had some.
I don't have enough of it to know. I just
I've
have
had
that
some
18
barrel
year.
proofs, and
Yeah.
and each one's different. The one I have at home is probably totally different than the one you.
Which one do you have?
Single barrel proof.
Oh, okay. He's got the 18 year, and I got the 18 year.
I've got two. I've got a small batch, and then I've got the 18 year.
Yeah, I got a single barrel.
The
Yeah.
18 year. Well, my 18 year's not open, but we tried his, and it was
We've
good.
we've had that consistently at that restaurant. Just
It's
about every time we go,
the same
it's
every
the
time,
same.
and it's
consistent.
never been the same bottle. It's always
No,
been a
it's
different
always
bottle.
different batches.
There's a lot
And I
of
don't
them that
know.
aren't consistent, and consistency in some of them are hard to find. Like
It
So
is.
they don't even give like
I
a
found
batch
like
number or
4
nothing.
different
So
bottles of Elijah Craig. I get a different flavor and different
Right.
notes from all 4 bottles,
Yeah.
and it can be 4 barrel proofs, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the good thing about buying stuff like that. You know, no matter if you buy a bottle this year and you buy one 20 years from now, it's going to be the exact same
Yeah.
thing most likely.
yeah,
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, it may differentiate just a little.
Some maybe within that long, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, like if someone
it's
drank
very-
and then they stopped drinking and then they wanted a bottle. I used to like E.H. Taylor, and you go on a small batch, they'd be like, "That's the taste I remember."
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that kind of deal. Just very good, consistent. I guess that's why Buffalo Trace is allocated, because everybody likes their stuff because it's so consistent. They're like,
It is.
Yeah,
I like that. And
That's
then,
why.
yeah.
I mean, that's why all their products are so sought after and so hard to get.
What's the retail on that? $39, $40.
Yeah, it's like $40.
when you find it.
I wouldn't pay
When
no
you
more.
find it.
I wouldn't pay no more than 60.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Well, being that I have one on my shelf now, I wouldn't pay no more than 60. But
If
when
you
I was
didn't,
when I was hunting it, I'd probably gave 100, and that may be stupid to some people, but that's how bad I wanted it, because every time we go to that restaurant, I get E.H. Taylor small batch.
there's other bottles that are $100 that aren't that good.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
and there's bottles that are cheaper that are better than that, but for what it is specifically to it,
Specifically.
there's no other bottle that I know that compares to E.H. Taylor. There's not one that's like, oh, this tastes like an E.H.
I feel
Taylor.
like that's
It's its own
still-
thing.
I feel like that's still in my top 5.
Yeah.
Personally.
That's probably
Dude, the old Raleigh Old Stogie
The Old
knocked
Stogie.
Heaven Hill out.
That's
Stuff's good. So
Heaven
Them two
Hill's
are
still
in my
good.
top.
But
I'm gonna annotate a card up top
I think-
for
I
Old
think
Raleigh.
The Old Raleigh is probably my number 1.
that is
So far, and
good.
you have not. I mean,
Yeah.
your
It is
your
good.
spectrum is not as broad as ours, and ours is not nowhere near the extent of the bourbon
Oh
world's
yeah,
huge.
absolutely. Yeah, it's huge.
We haven't had a tenth of the
Yeah.
what they got, so I'm getting indigestion. But anyway, I don't really have a final thoughts for this because I've had it so many times. It's just consistently my go-to. Like if I wanted to sit down and have a drink of something in the evening after a long day at work, or just to have, and I really don't even like drinking by myself. I'd rather sit, with friends.
I
But
like.
if I do it by myself, that would be one, I'd sit down with.
Yeah.
I'd sit down with the Colonel.
I rarely have a drink by myself, but if I do, it's a
Yeah.
very select few that I personally.
It would definitely be that every time. What do you think, Brandon? For your first time with the E.H. Taylor small batch.
I would definitely pick it up, even for probably north of $60, $70. I mean, I'd probably give $100 honestly for a bottle.
Even
But-
though MSRP is only $40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And considering how hard it
still
is to
very
get
good
an E.H. Taylor, I would pay above MSRP, and I've never paid above MSRP for anything. So
Right.
yeah, for sure. I
But,
mean, it's hard to beat that. That's a good flavor.
I figured you would like it.
Yeah, that one's real good. I like that
And
a lot.
and have you cracked your Blanton's, right? You've tried it? Oh, you haven't. So you don't know. It's very similar to Blanton's.
it's pretty close.
Yeah, pretty
in
close.
taste.
And E.H. Taylor, because, I guess from my experience across all of the Buffalo Trace stuff, even George T. Stagg and Stagg are similar to that. Like,
It's just a lot higher
Profiles.
proof. It's
Yeah.
like a 127.
it's crazy how it's all consistent, even though they have different expressions,
Yeah.
different names.
Yeah.
It's crazy to have a mash bill that's so consistent every time.
Yep.
But that's all my thoughts on this one. That's
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
definitely pick it up. Though.
I can't add anything to it or take anything away from what Justin just said. I guess to close it out, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook to keep in touch with everything that we're doing.
Also, my bad. Also, we have a interrupted. Also, we have all of our video backlog is in audio format on Spotify and Amazon Music, available as listening podcasts. So, if you're driving to work or taking the kids somewhere or just sitting back in your man cave with a glass of something, tune in on Spotify, Amazon Music, and
put it on the Bourbon Trail podcast.
Yep, that's right.
Listen in.
And as always,
happy bourbon trolling.
Happy bourbon trolling. I missed the NSYNC thing there. I'm just a bit. I'm feeling it just a bit. I'm not in tune. I'm out of tune.
He's not in tune, guys.
Anyway, have a good one.
Peace out.